watching News Channel 8 today.
Good morning, I'm Candace McCowan. Thank you for joining us as we break down the political stories making headlines this week. Happening today. For the third time in his presidency, President Barack Obama will address the nation from the Oval Office. The speech comes less than a week after 14 people were killed in San Bernardino, California. The mass shooting is now being investigated as an act of terrorism. This weekend, ISIS called for Saeed Farouk and Tasafin Malik supporters. They hailed them as martyrs, but stopped short of claiming responsibility for their deadly attack.
We know that ISIL and other terrorist groups are actively encouraging people around the world and in our country to commit terrible acts of violence, oftentimes as lone wolf actors.
Well, the president's speech will air tonight at 8 o'clock. He will discuss the active investigation in California and how the U.S. plans to defeat terrorism. We will have that for you tonight right here on News Channel 8 and on WFLA.com. Trending right now, a university president is urging students to arm themselves in light of the mass shootings in California.
Let's teach them a lesson if they ever show up here. If more good people had concealed carry permits, then we could end those Muslims before they walk in and kill us.
Well, that was Jerry Falwell Jr., who made the comments during a school convocation in Lynchburg, Virginia. While many agree with him, thousands on social media are outraged. They posted comments like disgusting or all Muslims aren't killers.
Yes, yes, peace! Yes, yes, peace!
Communities across the nation are coming together to show support for Muslim people living in America. In Kansas City, Missouri, members of the Muslim community marched through the streets to declare that ISIS is not Islam. They feel their religion has been hijacked.
They have nothing to do with Islam. We clearly want to make sure that those people don't belong to us. We support the U.S. and every other country that actually stand against ISIS.
Well, this certainly is a hot topic this week, and I'm joined now by Hassan Sibley, who is the Florida director for the Council for American Islamic Relations. And Hassan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A lot to talk about this week, but first let's start with those comments that were made by Jerry Falwell Jr. of Liberty University. How is that type of rhetoric impacting the Muslim community?
Well, it's very scary. Look, America is one of the best places in the world to be a practicing Muslim or to be Jewish or atheist or whatever you want to be, because America is built on religious liberty, and we can't allow our enemies abroad to divide us here at home and turn us against each other. I mean, the rhetoric from Falwell and Trump and Carson and others really mimics some of the Nazi propaganda that was being promoted against the Jewish community in Germany 70 years ago, where they said we need to get rid of Jews, we need to have databases of Jews, Jews need to wear special ID cards. That's verbatim what people like Carson, Falwell, and others are saying about the Muslim community. It's scary. We need to stand united as Americans and learn from history.
Yeah, after hearing some of this rhetoric, though, does it make you actually even have a fear of this, the safety for you and your family?
Well, I certainly have fear for the safety of myself and my family. We've been getting death threats since I joined actually a Muslim organization here, CARE, years ago. And in fact, over the past 2 weeks, our community's received over a dozen hate crimes or death threats, threats to shoot 2-year-old children, threats to blow up mosques. In fact, one mosque was vandalized as late as yesterday. However, I'm more scared not as a Muslim, but as an American, because I'm an American by choice. We immigrated here when I was 4 years old. We came to America because it's built on principles of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. And I fear from these Islamophobes like Falwell and Trump that they're undermining the principles of liberty and justice that make America so great to begin with.
Yeah, and there's a lot of critics out there of CARE. And there was an editorial today by Michelle Malkin this morning from the New York Post saying that CARE is the top enabler of terrorism, saying that you put damage control above border control and jihad control. What would you say in response to that?
Well, actually, our community, CARE Florida, for example, works with the Department of Homeland Security to offer safety trainings to temples, synagogues, and by the way, I do want to say Happy Hanukkah to the Jewish community that's celebrating. So we offer that kind of training. We work with law enforcement to keep America safe and free. Islamophobia is the biggest threat that our nation faces. It undermines liberty in our country as people turn against each other, and it escalates conflict overseas. The people who hate CARE, they're the same ones that hate all Muslims. And they don't like how we challenge Islamophobia and we defend civil rights of all. So let people come and know CARE. Let them come visit our office. Let us serve the community. CARE offers free representation to any victim of discrimination, regardless of their race or religion. That's what we're about.
I want to ask you about one more thing. The U.S. Justice Department is now opening an investigation into the arrest of that 14-year-old Muslim boy who brought a homemade clock to school. Police in Texas arrested Ahmed Mohammed in September because school authorities thought it was a bomb. The boy was never charged. Well, last week his family threatened a lawsuit and demanded $15 million in damages. Attorney General Loretta Lynch attended a Muslim advocacy event this week where she promised the Justice Department is investigating his arrest. What do you think about this latest development?
Well, look, I think what happened to Ahmed was very shameful. I mean, he's a young kid and he was arrested and put through very humiliating treatment. People say, oh, he was all over the news. And look, I work with clients that go on the news all the time, and it isn't, fun and glory like people think it is. You would know better than anyone else. It's very stressful, and it actually has a lot of damage to him. So nonetheless, what's great about that experience is it shows the good that's in this country, and it smacks in the face of Islamophobes and anti-Muslim extremists, and even Muslim extremists who want to promote a narrative that American Islam is against each other, because we saw America standing with this young man and saying, look, we will not allow discrimination in our name. That's the message we need to send the world, that we will stand united and not treat each other differently because of race or religion. That's what makes America great, that we can do that.
You talk about sending that message. What can we do, everybody, to improve relations?
Just get to know each other. Get to know each other. Remember, our worst enemy is misunderstanding and ignorance. Ignorance leads to misunderstanding, that leads to fear, that ultimately leads to hate and division. Let's stand united as Americans. Remember, we're first and foremost humans. Secondly, we're all Americans here. Let's get to know each other and build a society where children of people of all faith and religion can grow proud of who they are without fear of intimidation, harassment, or violence.
Hassan, thank you so much for joining us this morning, a hot topic this week. And we want to know what you think about this heated topic. Share your thoughts on our Facebook page or tweet us at WFLA. Well, the fight over a Muslim-free zone at a Bay Area gun shop is far from over. That shop owner won a victory in court, and as Shannon Bankin shows us, his victory has him taking his stance a step further.
Andy Hallinan is sticking with his Muslim-free zone at Florida Gun Supply and taking his stance even further.
Justice has been served, and victory is sweet.
This video landed Hallinan in federal court, but not for long. A judge tossed out the case, saying Hallinan can indeed declare a Muslim-free zone, but at this point, no Muslims have been discriminated against.
So I'm sure that she was cringing as she was writing the filing, but at the end of the day, she made the right choice.
The ruling emboldened Hallinan.
This jihadi can sit on your Target stand for just $3.
He's selling Muslim-free bumper stickers, too, and warning Muslims won't get service here. The fight over this Muslim-free zone is far from over.
We're not going to let resegregation occur. We don't want Jim Crow era type laws. And for that reason, Care Florida is going to stay strong and fight this.
In Inverness, Shannon Bankin, 8 on your side.
Well, comedian Amy Schumer is using her stardom to fight for gun control in the wake of the mass shooting in California. Schumer tweeted her fans to ask Congress for background checks on gun sales. Well, in the past, the actress has teamed up with her cousin, Senator Chuck Schumer, to combat gun violence. Well, the mass shootings in San Bernardino put gun control back on the campaign trail.
They're still out there talking about gun control measures, as if somehow terrorists care about what our gun laws are.
Well, coming up after the break, what the presidential candidates want to do to prevent another attack from taking American lives. Stay with us.
Scott's an electrician with Mr. Sparky, and he climbed the ladder of success one rung at a time. That's why you can count on him to keep the lights on.
Light.
I'm just here to help.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
How's the view up there?
Illuminating.
You know when you taste a great cup of coffee? You know it as soon as you pick it up. You smell it. You know, an aroma that smells great. It kind of captures my imagination. It's a flavor impression that follows all the way through till right now. You know, till 30 seconds after that sip of coffee, you get this rich, smooth flavor. This is a great cup of coffee.
The Black Friday sale is extended at Ashley Furniture Home Store. Save 50% off throughout the store, including this love seat, now just $249, or no interest for 5 years, and doorbusters starting at $199. Sale ends Monday at Ashley Furniture Home Store. This is home.
Peyton, check out our new Epic Meats Pizza. It's loaded with 5 meaty meats.
Wow, it's really heavy.
Come on!
Get the new Epic Meats Pizza, just $12 for a large, with pepperoni, Italian sausage, meatballs, bacon, and Canadian bacon. And get a free large one-topping pizza when you buy $25 in gift cards.
Better ingredients, better pizza,
better football.
PapaJohns.com.
Good news from Wesley Chapel Nissan.
10 days only. BOGO is back. Buy one, get one. Only at Wesley Chapel Nissan. For a limited time, buy any new Nissan Altima and get your choice. A new Sentra or Rogue at no additional cost. That's right. Buy one, get one. Buy a new Nissan Altima and get a new Sentra or Rogue at no additional cost. Only at Wesley Chapel Nissan, the home of BOGO. BOGO now at Wesley Chapel Nissan before it's too late.
Wesley Chapel Nissan, your good news Nissan dealer.
Northwood Dental can help you keep your teeth healthy. Our experienced staff provides comprehensive care, from hygiene to specialized dental treatments, all in a friendly, welcoming atmosphere. Now Northwood Dental's new patient special is only $49. Call us to schedule your appointment today.
Scott from Mr. Sparky has conducted thousands of home safety electrical inspections. Scott, have you ever seen a home with no electrical issues?
Not yet, Mike.
Any questions?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Well, terrorism and guns have become a huge issue in the race for the White House. Candidates are now focused on who can keep America safe. NBC's Ron Allen shows us how recent attacks are fueling criticism of President Obama.
Thank you very much. Wow. Wow. Donald Trump with an enthusiastic crowd explaining how he would deal with the threat of terrorism.
If the people in Paris or the people in California, if you had a couple of folks in there with guns and that knew how to use them, and they were in that room, you wouldn't have dead people. The dead people would be the other guys.
At this Iowa gun owners' rights event, Ted Cruz blasting away.
We will not defeat radical Islamic terrorism so long as the president is unwilling to utter the words, radical Islamic terrorism.
With America worried about terror striking at home, a new national poll taken after the Paris attacks, but before San Bernardino, gives Trump some of his highest numbers yet, 36%, 20 points ahead, with Cruz surging into second place. Trump also with top marks on foreign policy and handling ISIS. Again, Cruz second on both fronts. Gun rights and fighting terror, big GOP issues as the administration tries to play down the fear factor.
Try to channel it into an awareness of your surroundings to get you to a place where you are living your life. But if you see something that doesn't make sense, you say something to somebody.
And the leading Democratic contender tries to strike a balance.
I don't see any conflict at all between going after the terrorists with everything we've got and doing more on gun safety measures. I see no contradiction.
But out on the trail, like across the country, the deep divide on this emotional issue endures.
They're still out there talking about gun control measures, as if somehow terrorists care about what our gun laws are.
Well, Hillary Clinton took her campaign to Florida this week. I was there as she set for a rally in Orlando and raised money throughout Florida. We'll have that coming up after the break.
When it stops ticking, we'll get it talking. Come to Fast Fix, America's leading jewelry and watch repair centers, and let our expert watchmakers get it tick-tocking in no time.
Fast Fix Jewelry and Watch Repairs. Expert repairs while you shop at a mall near you or visit fastfix.com.
It's the holidays, and of course, everyone wants to get online at once to watch things, buy things. But slow internet makes it hard. That's why it's time to get Fios. It has the fastest internet and Wi-Fi available, with speeds from 50 to 500 megs. And right now, you'll get 50 meg Fios internet, TV, and phone for $79.99 a month online for your first year. And with a 2-year agreement, we'll give you all the premium movie channels for a year, plus $400 back. So go online or call now. Get out of the past. Get Fios.
Celebrate News Channel 8's Kindness Day, December 11th. Simply drive through the parking lot of the News Center and donate food, toys, and teddy bears to those in need. For your act of kindness, you'll receive a goodie bag from our local community partners, including Circle K, where you can grab a Polar Pop Cup for just 79 cents all day, every day. Polar Pop stays cold longer. The parking lot opens at 6 a.m. Join us for News Channel 8's Kindness Day, brought to you in part by Circle K.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
North Trail RV's grand opening celebration, December 1st to the 14th. See our new RV Parts Megastore. North Trail RV's new state-of-the-art service center with full chassis department. RV manufacturers on site with special factory sales incentives. Save thousands on all new RVs with America's best brands. Over 60 acres of new and used motorhomes, all on sale. The North Trail RV grand opening sale going on now. I-75 exit 141 Fort Myers.
Have your next burger with a side of awesome. The one-of-a-kind creamy blend of sweet and tangy. Miracle Whip, and proud of it.
I'm gonna use my tools. I'm gonna move around.
At Kraft, we start with quality ingredients, all expertly blended to make our mayo. So you can take whatever you're making from good to amazing.
Have jewelry that needs cleaning, sizing, or repair? At Fast Fix, America's leading jewelry and watch repair centers, experience love at first sight. Again,
Fast Fix Jewelry and Watch Repairs. Expert repairs while you shop at a mall near you or visit fastfix.com.
Storm Teammate Weather brought to you by the Law Office of Catania and Catania.
Well, the fight over congressional district maps is much more than borders on a piece of paper. They play a large role in which leaders make crucial decisions about how we live our lives. Well, a lawsuit claims that the maps initially draw in favored incumbents and political parties. But this week we had a ruling from a judge. I am now joined by Ed Benton, who is a political science professor at the University of South Florida, to discuss what the Florida Supreme Court's decision now means for us. Tell us, could there be any more changes to these congressional districts?
Right now, it's quite likely that the arena will change from the state courts to the federal courts. Looks like that's going to happen. But right now, with the decision handed down on Wednesday, which basically accepted a plan of common cause and League of Women Voters, does not bode well for Republicans in the state, but not necessarily for the presidential race right now, but for congressional delegations, it may mean there may be a little more bluing of the congressional districts, more Democrats. Some of the districts has been targeted, we know already, before the court hearing, right here in the Bay Area, the seat of David Jolly, of Richard Nugent up in the Hernando area. Those two individuals chose not to run for re-election because their districts changed considerably from being heavily Republican registered to now Democratic registered, and there's some other districts in the area as well. So it could mean a difference in the representation in Congress, maybe a more Democratic representation, less Republican.
Yeah, and absolutely, this also means, especially for our state races, I know there's been a lot of people holding back, waiting to see what this decision would be, but we could see more people jumping in to run for these offices.
Oh, certainly so. We see Charlie Crist is now eyeing the race that was David Jolly, which, if you remember, don't go back too far, that was Bill Young's seat. I mean, a staunch Republican in the area. So to see that seat complexion change is like a metamorphosis of sorts.
Yeah. Well, switching gears now a little bit. I know I've been talking to you for several months about this, but talking about Trump, and he's still ahead in the polls. Like they said, that CNN poll just recently showed that he's 20 points ahead of every other candidate. Are you still saying that you don't think he'll make it to be the nominee?
He's actually shown a resurgence in the last few weeks. And I guess the thing that I could say is that the public hasn't found anyone better than him. Although I think with some other issues such as terrorism, it may benefit the likes of Cruz, of Jeb Bush, has tried to restart his campaign by jumping in and taking advantage. But but again, Trump has a longevity that I would not have predicted.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Mr. Benton, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and your perspective as always here on News Channel 8.
Glad to be here.
All righty. Well, Hillary Clinton campaigned in the Bay Area this week. The Democratic frontrunner also rallied voters in Orlando. I spoke to some critics who told me Clinton needs to do more to win over Florida voters.
We are a nation of immigrants, and we need to understand that.
Hillary Clinton was working to appeal to Florida's Diversity Wednesday, taking aim at Republicans.
They have insulted Latinos, women, Muslims. They determined to absolutely insult everybody.
But Republicans say that Clinton is the one who's losing.
If you see a recent poll that came out, 54% of Floridians have a negative approval of Hillary Clinton.
This rally was a small part of Clinton's two-day trip to Florida. She started the day in Thonotosassa at the home of former Florida CFO Alex Sink. Tickets went for $500 and more. And we have new information this weekend on a 4-month investigation of Planned Parenthood affiliates here in Florida. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is announcing that the Women's Health Organization did not sell fetal tissue and did not break any laws. Mike Vasalinda is in Tallahassee with the 14-page report that details every conversation agents had with clinic executives.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement says its exhaustive investigation found no evidence that Planned Parenthood broke any law prohibiting the sale of fetal tissue.
We did 233 man-hours were spent on this investigation. So we did look at it very thoroughly, and, we took the concerns to heart. We wanted to make sure that we addressed them and, made sure that if there was any kind of criminal wrongdoing that we addressed it.
Planned Parenthood of Florida has said from the beginning that they haven't broken the law.
This program is one that we don't even participate in Florida, so for us, we knew from the beginning what the results would be.
The FDLE investigation was one of 3 that were conducted. Governor Rick Scott had previously asked the Department of Health and the Agency for Healthcare Administration to inspect clinics. 4 minor administrative violations were cited. Judiciary Chairman Charles McBurney from Jacksonville requested the investigation. He says he's pleased with the outcome.
I think there was a reasonable suspicion based upon those tapes. But at the end of the day, I'm pleased that they actually didn't find anything.
State Senator Eleanor Sobel, who has spoken out against abortion restrictions at every turn, says she isn't surprised by the investigation's outcome.
This is a witch hunt against women.
Simultaneously with the letter closing the investigation, the Florida Family Policy Council called off an anti-Planned Parenthood rally planned for next week.
That was Mike Vasalinda reporting. Well, climate change is front and center at the COP21 summit. And now one actor is turning the topic into a film. Coming up, who Leonardo DiCaprio interviewed for his upcoming documentary on climate change.
Do you suffer from painful varicose veins? At United Vein Centers, we treat vein disease with special medical lasers that allow you to return to work or play immediately. The treatment is covered by Medicare and most health insurance. Find out today with a free vein screening at one of our Tampa Bay locations.
Okay, your AC stops working, so you call the local AC repairman. Again. And again. Then you call Air Rescue. Their routine maintenance keeps your system running worry-free all year long and saves you money on your power bill. New customers can get their tune-up for just $29.99 and ask them about their money-back guarantee.
Start training now for the 2016 Publix Gasparilla Distance Classic on February 20th and 21st. Pick up an entry form at any Bay Area Publix.
If you have neck or back pain, ask for Upright Open MRI. Make sure your health plan offers Upright MRI and Rose Radiology. Visit MRIRose.com.
Good news from Wesley Chapel Nissan.
10 days only. BOGO is back. Buy one, get one. Only at Wesley Chapel Nissan. For a limited time, buy any new Nissan Altima and get your choice. A new Sentra or Rogue at no additional cost. That's right. Buy one, get one. Buy a new Nissan Altima and get a new Sentra or Rogue at no additional cost. Only at Wesley Chapel Nissan, the home of BOGO. BOGO now at Wesley Chapel Nissan before it's too late.
Wesley Chapel Nissan, your good news Nissan dealer.
Brake squealing? Get it checked for free at AMCO.
Do you suffer from painful varicose veins? At United Vein Centers, we treat vein disease with special medical lasers that allow you to return to work or play immediately. The treatment is covered by Medicare and most health insurance. Find out today with a free vein screening at one of our Tampa Bay locations.
Hi, I'm Jerry Lipkin. At Valley, homeowners can refinance for $499.
Excuse me, Jerry, what else does Valley offer?
Valley is a commercial bank. We offer everything from commercial real estate and accounts receivable loans to working capital lines of credit and equipment financing.
Great, a bank for me and my business.
That's why we say Valley is the perfect fit.
Today, as never before, the stars are aligned in favor of a strong, concerted action on climate change.
Well, the stars really are aligned in the fight against climate change. From Hollywood to outer space, all eyes are on a newly approved draft for a global deal to curb climate change. The COP21 climate conference continued this weekend with a message from the International Space Station.
We are hopeful that leaders around the world will find common ground to address climate change during your meeting. And all of us on the space station wish you good luck and great success. Whether you're a government, a business, a university, or an individual, you can make a difference.
Actor Leonardo DiCaprio isn't only attending the COP21 summit, he's also turning it into a documentary. DiCaprio interviewed UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon for his upcoming film on climate change. The Secretary General thanked DiCaprio for using his influence to shine light on the issue. Actor Sean Penn also addressed the conference this weekend.
I'd like to ask you to join us, to join the other panelists and those things they'll speak about in making a commitment and being under the scrutiny of our children in 10 years from today.
Actor and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger hopes changing the way we talk will get more people to care.
There's no doubt that climate change is humanity's biggest threat. But we have to acknowledge that all of these charts and data and doom and gloom don't work. I know that we can build.
Speaking to the French Assembly in Paris, Schwarzenegger insisted we can't just do the same thing and expect different results.
We have a lot of heavy hitters out there speaking and acting on climate change. So
it's a very polarized subject indeed. Climate change is, and it's a difficult thing to really talk about because you can't put the Earth in a little jar and analyze it like you can a lot of things. The Earth is just too big and too complex.
You only get one chance too, you know?
Yeah, that's true. One thing we do know is carbon dioxide is increasing at a dramatic rate. We know it's a greenhouse gas and it inhibits the escape of heat from the Earth. So we know we're polluting, whether it's leading to climate change or warmer temperatures.
Depends on who you ask.
Let's just not pollute. If there's better ways to do it, and without polluting our environment, taking care of what we have, our parks, our air, let's go for it. Let's do it. So that has my backing.
Absolutely. You have one quick last look at our forecast, right?
Let's check out the current temperatures right now. We are 73 degrees. Throughout the week, big shocker, we are going to be above average all week long. Temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s. Satellite and radar pretty quiet right now. It will be a decent week, though, relatively dry. And happy Hanukkah to our friends celebrating Hanukkah later this evening.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us this morning, Brian. Thank you.
Sure.
Our next newscast is at 6. Have a great Sunday.